Most people believe the wealthy stay wealthy because they have more money. But that's like saying a chess grandmaster wins because they have more pieces. At the beginning of every game, both players start with the same number. The difference isn't the pieces, it's how they see the board. Money is often the final result of an advantage that existed long before the bank account. The real edge isn't visible. It's a way of thinking that changes which opportunities you notice, which risks you avoid, and which systems quietly work in your favor. This creates an uncomfortable question. If money isn't the real advantage, why do wealthy families across different countries often remain wealthy for generations, even after losing fortunes? History is full of businesses that collapsed, markets that crashed, and fortunes that disappeared. Yet many of the same families eventually rebuilt their wealth. If money was the only advantage, losing it should have reset the game. But it rarely does. That suggests the true advantage survives even when the money doesn't. Psychologists call part of this advantage cognitive bandwidth. Every decision consumes mental energy. When your attention is constantly occupied by immediate problems, there is less capacity left to notice long-term opportunities. Scarcity doesn't just reduce what you can buy, it changes how your brain allocates attention. Research in behavioral science has repeatedly shown that financial pressure narrows focus toward urgent problems while pushing future planning into the background. It isn't about intelligence, it's about where the mind is forced to look. Now flip the situation. Someone who is constantly solving today's emergencies can spend that same mental bandwidth exploring tomorrow's possibilities. They can study industries before they become popular, build relationships before they become valuable, learn skills before they become necessary. Time becomes an investment instead of a survival tool. Their greatest asset isn't cash, it's uninterrupted attention. This is why many wealthy people seem to spot trends before everyone else. They don't necessarily predict the future better, they simply have the freedom to observe longer. Most people only notice a wave after it becomes obvious. By then, the opportunity is crowded. The real advantage came months or years earlier, when almost nobody was paying attention. One of the clearest examples is investor Warren Buffett. People often describe him as someone who became rich because he invested wisely. But investing is only the visible outcome. Buffett has famously structured his life to protect one resource above all else: uninterrupted thinking time. While many executives spend their days jumping between meetings, emails, and constant decisions, Buffett has spent decades reading for hours every day, studying businesses, annual reports, and economic history. His edge isn't secret stock tips. It's the ability to make fewer, better decisions because his attention isn't constantly fragmented. By the time the public notices a great company, Buffett often spent years quietly understanding it. That reveals another hidden mechanism. The wealthy often buy leverage instead of simply buying luxury. Leverage means using one resource to multiply another. Money can buy tools. Tools create time. Time creates knowledge. Knowledge improves decisions. Better decisions create more money. The cycle feeds itself. Most people see the expensive house or luxury car. They don't see the invisible machine operating underneath it. Modern society quietly pushes most people in the opposite direction. Every notification competes for attention. Every algorithm rewards reaction instead of reflection. Every headline creates urgency. The attention economy profits when your focus is fragmented. The less time you spend thinking deeply, the more time you spend consuming. Attention has become one of the world's most valuable currencies, yet it's often given away for free. Evolution helps explain why this is so effective. Human brains evolved to prioritize immediate threats over distant rewards. Thousands of years ago, ignoring sudden danger could be fatal. Today, that same wiring makes breaking news, viral trends, and endless notifications almost impossible to ignore. Technology didn't create this instinct. It industrialized it. The result is a population constantly reacting instead of observing. This creates a hidden divide. Many people compete for higher income while unknowingly sacrificing the attention required to build lasting wealth. Others protect their attention first, knowing it eventually shapes income, relationships, and opportunity. The difference isn't simply how hard they work. It's what their minds are available to notice while everyone else is distracted. That also changes how they make decisions. Most people ask, what will this cost me? Those with a long-term advantage often ask a different question. What will this free me to do? The first question measures money leaving your pocket. The second measures time, focus, and future possibilities. One looks at price, the other looks at leverage. This explains why two people with similar salaries can end up living completely different financial lives. One spends attention chasing every new opportunity, every trend, every distraction. The other patiently builds systems that reduce decisions, automate routines, and preserve mental energy for the few choices that matter. From the outside, they may look equally busy. Underneath, they're playing different games. The greatest misconception about wealth is that it's a pile of money waiting at the finish line. In reality, money is often the shadow cast by something much harder to see. Protected attention, long-term thinking, high-quality decisions. These are invisible assets, but they shape visible outcomes. Once you recognize that, the game looks different. The wealthy's secret edge isn't hidden inside a bank account. It's hidden inside a mind that has learned what deserves attention and what doesn't.